guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Vanchika and I am an international student from India doing my masters here in Germany. I make videos related to Europe, Germany, which might help the students who are coming from India to Germany, and I also make videos related to fashion, makeup, lifestyle. So if that is something you like, please subscribe to my channel. So this video is about the cost of living in Germany as an international student. When I was coming, I did not have any video like this which can give me an idea that how much money can I spend or how much money should I expect to spend in a month. So that's why I'm making this video, and I hope it can help some people who are planning to come to Germany. They can have an idea that how much money they should have, or what kind of cities they should look for, and what kind of places they can spend less, what kind of places they can spend more, just to have an idea. I have my notes ready here and I will tell everything. I have covered almost everything which I think are like the important and main expenses that you have to do, and I hope this video helps you. So let's just get started. So the first and the foremost thing that you have to spend monthly is your rent. So for rent, you can divide it into two categories. If you are living in a dorm, which I was living for the first 6 months of my university, you spend a lot less. In dorm, you can expect to spend somewhere around 230 euros to 300 euros, depending on your city and depending on your university. And then if you live in a private accommodation, you can divide it according to the city. So in a small city, you can spend somewhere from 200 to 300 euros. From a mid-range city, you can spend somewhere around 250 to 400 euros for your rent. And if you live in a bigger city like Berlin, you can spend from 400 to 700, or also you can go up to 1000 euros sometimes, depending on the kind of accommodation you are taking. Also in your rent, you have two things. So you have a warm rent and a cold rent. Warm rent is basically includes everything, that is your rent, your electricity, your water, heating, everything. And cold rent just includes your house rent. So when you are looking for a housing, just see what kind of rent is mentioned. The second thing which is really important and is a compulsory expense is your health insurance. So your health insurance also depends on your age and also what kind of health insurance you have. If you are below 30, you will probably have a public health insurance. For example, I have TK health insurance, and right now I'm paying for 144 euros for it. So that is for the public health insurance. And if you are over 30, you have to get a private health insurance, which ranges from 35 euros and can go up to 150 euros, which basically depends on what kind of private health insurance you are taking. But I would recommend to take a premium health insurance which covers everything, because in case you face any medical emergency or issue and you have a cheaper health insurance, then the cost of medical treatments here, it's really expensive, and if your health insurance does not cover it, it can be really heavy on your pocket. So please be mindful of that and take a good health insurance. Just check the terms and conditions properly. The third expense that is kind of important and also a personal choice is transportation. So here you have regional trains, which is the main mode of transportation usually. So people usually buy a Deutsche Bahn ticket, which is a DB ticket, which you can get it from the DB app, or you can also get it with your semester ticket. If you get it with your semester ticket, like if you get it from your university, it is much cheaper. But if you buy it yourself, so the current price of DB is 58 euros monthly, but from January 1st it is increasing to 63 euros, which might sound a little expensive, but when you think about it and when you do the entire calculation, DB covers your trams, your local buses, your public taxis, regional trains, everything, and you can reach almost everywhere in Germany using the DB ticket. So in a long run, it's really cheap. So it's like 63 euros from the next year. The fourth compulsory expense, and according to me, the most useless expense here in Germany, is the public broadcasting fee. It's basically a radio fee that you have to pay, that is 18.36 euros per month, and they usually cut the money from your account after every 3 months. So you pay like 55 point something euros for every 3 months, and it is a compulsory fee. You have to pay it even if you don't watch anything, still you have to pay it. But the good thing is that if you are living in a shared apartment, so you can share that cost with your tenants, because you basically have to pay the 55 euros every 3 months for one apartment. It's not individually, so you can share. If you are two people or more than two, you can share the same code, and that amount can be decreased a little bit, but that depends person to person, if you are living alone or if you are living with someone. The fifth expense here is the internet. So if you are living in a dorm, you might get it with your dorm, so you don't have to pay extra for it. But if you live in a private accommodation, you have to get a contract for internet, which can be 1 year, which can be 2 years, and the price varies. It depends on your package, what package you are taking, and it also depends on the number of people sharing the internet. So that is very subjective, but that is also a monthly expense to keep in mind. Then the seventh expense is the university fee. That is basically divided into two categories, that is semester contribution and tuition fee. So semester contribution usually you have to pay, and sometimes the DB ticket that I mentioned before is also included in your semester contribution. And tuition fee, it depends on your university. It can go from 500 to 1000, or even I know of some students who pay 1500. Tuition fee for a public university is usually less. If your course is in German, the fee can also be like free. You might not have to pay a tuition fee, that you can check for your university. And if it's a private university, you might have to pay a little more. So university fee is also very subjective, and it's not like a monthly expense, but you have to pay every 6 months. Next expense, which is also a monthly expense, is your SIM. So when you get your mobile SIM, you basically get it at a contract period, and you pay monthly for that SIM. So it depends on what kind of SIM you are getting, what company, what data package, and what internet volume you are getting. According to that, the price of the SIM varies. It can range from 10 euros up to 20 euros. And also there are two types of SIM. It's prepaid and postpaid. The prepaid SIM is cheaper in the beginning, but for a longer run, the postpaid SIM is more reliable and more cheaper. So I would prefer a postpaid SIM. Okay, so the next monthly expense is groceries. So this is very subjective. This depends on what kind of food you eat. I will give you an idea according to what I usually eat and how much I spend. So my food basically includes veg. I usually eat like chane, rajma, rice. I don't eat that much meat. I sometimes eat chicken and mostly vegetables. And also I shop from Rewe or Edeka, which is like the most you can say expensive stores here. And also I live in Halle, Saxony-Anhalt, which is a medium size city. So all these factors play a very important role in deciding your expenditure on groceries. First, I will tell you what kind of stores are here, and then I'll tell you how much I spend on groceries every month. So if you consider the costliest stores, it is Edeka, Rewe and Kaufland. They are expensive, but the food quality is really good. Then there are some mid-range stores like Aldi and Lidl, which also have good quality food, and it's cheaper compared to Rewe and Edeka. And then there are some stores like Penny and Netto, which have really cheap prices of food items. The quality, I don't know that much because I don't shop from Penny and Netto that much. But you can check these stores out and you can decide whatever suits your budget. So for me, I spend somewhere around 125 to 150 euros per month on my groceries. And yeah, that's it. And the last expense, which is not a compulsory expense, but it depends on what kind of accommodation you are living in, is the waste management. So if you are, I think, living in a dorm, you might don't have to pay it, but if it's a private accommodation, you might have to pay waste management expense, which is yearly or half yearly, like 6 months or 1 year. So it completely depends on your accommodation, but you should keep in mind that if you have to pay something like this, then you need to add that also in your monthly expenses. So according to me, that are all the expenses, the major expenses that you might have to pay per month in Germany as an international student. I have made a small summary on how much you might have to pay depending on the size of the city. This summary is very subjective, depends on what kind of things you are taking, but this is just an idea. And this summary does not include your university fee, and it does not include your eating out or shopping. So that is very subjective. These are basically the compulsory expenses that you have to do, and just to give you an idea. So for a small city, you spend somewhere around 600 to 630 euros. For a medium city, you spend somewhere around 700 to 750 euros. And if you are living in a bigger city, you spend somewhere around 950 to 980 up to 1000 euros, depending on the type of accommodation you are taking. And that's it for my video. I hope it helps you and it gives you an idea on how much you can expect to spend in Germany as an international student. And if you have any specific questions, or if you have any specific doubts, or you need to ask about any specific thing, please drop your questions in the comments below and I will surely reply to them. And that's it for the video. I will see you in my next one. Bye.